Since Age of Extinction, movie lines have been hit or miss. Age of Extinction had less than 3 waves of proper figures, with everything else being mediocre gimmick toys, with only 2 Decepticons in the entire main line. The Last Knight, while a major step up, was infested with dull, subpar repaints. And the Bumblebee movie? Well, it threw all the previous conceived notions out the window, replacing the standardized deluxe Voyager leader classes with 3 classes of cheaply made gimmick toys. With the advent of the new Rise of the Beast toy line, Hasbro goes back to basics with the return of deluxe and Voyager class figures. My name is Sint, and today on Sint Reviews, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Rise of the Beast Voyager class Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime was released in 2023 as part of the first wave of the Voyager lineup, and originally retailed for about $33. He was seen early via a rogue shipment to Hong Kong toy stores.
Starting off in alt mode, Optimus Prime is a Freightliner adjacent royalty-free truck. Taking obviously some influence from SS-38 with its stylings and overall design, but with a few notable changes. Most notably, these panels on the smokestacks and the running bar, which can be seen across the front grille. The molding detailing on the truck itself, while not to the level of Studio Series, is still passable. As you can see, we have the grille right up here at the front. We've got lots of riveting detailing. The door molded in right here, which you can kind of make out. Some hydraulic and piston detailing across the gray portion. Some taillights right here at the back. And overall, while missing some detailing, such as the vent detailing on this little section right up here, I do think that overall, for a figure with a clearly lower budget than most Studio Series figures, I think it's passable. For gimbal management, this figure does a respectable job. That you of course have the clear feet right here at the back, but they at least try to hide as the hitch bed. The thighs are covered up by just these little gas can panels, but aside from those, everything is hidden well. If you look here at the back, you can kind of see the fist, but who's looking up the back of a truck? But overall, I think it does a good enough job at hiding all its robot gibble. The ion blaster right here at the back can be removed from the trailer hitch. You can see right there, and as you can see, the hitch bed is a bit messy. It's very clearly the bottoms of the robot feet, which is definitely obvious from the sides, but most modern G1 style Optimus Primes, they don't have the cleanest back ends either. You can also see some little gas cans right there. As well as the thing that most people have looking at this figure, he has a lot of just straight up gray on him. For size comparison, here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime, and as you can see, he is notably smaller. The hitch bed is noticeably stumpier, the cab is smaller, but they're close enough in size in alt mode. Comparing him to another well-known G1 Prime mold, we have Classics Prime, even though this is technically United Nemesis Prime, but same mold. And yeah, he's dwarfed. This is a Voyager from like 15 years ago. They were just bigger back then. For comparison within his own line, here he is with Deluxe Wheeljack. Wheeljack is noticeably smaller, but they're actually pretty close in size when it comes to alt mode. overall, Rise of the Beast Prime does a respectable job in alt mode. It is an Optimus Prime cab over truck. We've seen it done 1,000 times before, and we'll probably see it 1,000 times after this. And it works. It does what it needs to do, and it does it well enough. It's been done better, but it's also been done way worse. And as I keep saying, it does a respectable job at being what it's supposed to be.
Prime ranks as a 3 in complexity. If you've handled any G1 style Optimus Prime from the last 15 years, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Best way to describe this figure's transformation is a mix between classics and Earthrise Prime. So, we're going to start out by coming to the front, popping out the wheels, focus. There we go. And flipping this entire section up, folding the wheels back onto themselves. Come to the back, flip around the hitch right there, and fold in gas cans to the underside. Take these side panels right here, pop them up and back. Take the entire back section, swing it down until it clicks into place. Unfold the lower arms and swing them down. Hinge out the shoulders and flip out the hands. Goes around the forearms. Take the smokestacks, untab them, and double hinge them back. Put them into a bit of a T-pose. And rotate around the entire torso a la classics Optimus Prime. Split the legs, flip down the feet. There we go. Come to the top here, pop up the roof, swing it back, the head will sort of pop up on its own, open up the chest a bit, then just pop that into place. And there we have Prime in robot mode. Optimus's robot mode is a pretty solid representation of his Knightverse design. Specifically, obviously, how he appears in Rise of the Beasts. As you can see, he's pretty bulky overall. Especially if you're comparing him to, say, SS-38, who, while being blocky, is also pretty lithe overall. Between the bulkier legs, the broad chest, and small head, this guy is just looks roided up, which I kinda love. Much like with the alt mode, the robot mode molding detailing is respectable and honestly I would say better than the alt mode. You can see the torso greebles all through there, look pretty nice. The mold detailing on the arms and hips, as well as the revealed vent detailing on the legs. I think this makes him fit in with Studio Series a little bit better, even if, once again, his detailing is slightly more simplified compared to a lot of other Studio Series stuff. The head sculpt is one of the best Knightverse Optimus Prime head sculpts. I like it way more than the one on SS-38. Still wouldn't call it the best. That surprisingly goes to the Smash Changer, but it's still overall a very nice representation of his Rise of the Beast / BBM head design. In the way of accessories, as shown in alt mode, he comes with his ion rifle, which is in his hand via 5mm peg, and not gonna lie, looks a bit undersized. And considering this guy is honestly pretty small for a Voyager, I would at least hope he would come with maybe some arm blades to bulk out that price point a bit more. But I'm fine with just the ion rifle. Let's cover the elephant in the room that everyone talks about with this guy. The amount of gray. For reference, most of the color on this figure is provided via paint. The red on the windshields, or the chest obviously, the red on his shoulders, and all of the blue on him is provided via paint. And as you can probably imagine, that leaves him quite gray. Personally, I don't mind it that much. I get why people wouldn't like it, but considering how much gray he has in the actual movie, I can forgive the amount of gray this guy has. Would I have liked it if it was maybe a bit more metallic rather than just this dull Games Workshop gray? Yes. Am I going to complain about the amount of gray? No, not really. Articulation on this guy is pretty much standard at this point. He has a simple swivel at the head, which is very tight on mine. Arms go back and forth, in and out. Bend and swivel at the elbow. Ball-jointed wrists. Swivel at the upper torso and at the waist, which is pretty nice. Ab crunch due to transformation. Back and forth, in and out the legs. Swivel at the thigh. Very nice bend at the knee. And honestly, pretty good range in the foot. So, on par with most modern mainline figures. For size comparison, here he's with Earthrise Prime. And as you can see, he's looking a little bit stumpy there. He is a bit small for a Voyager. He's definitely not Hot Rod levels of small, but it's still very noticeable that he is smaller than most modern Voyagers. Here he is with Classics Prime, and honestly the size difference isn't, at least in height, is about the same as with Earthrise Prime, but Classics Prime feels way bulkier. Here he is with Wheeljack, and their size difference is much more apparent in this mode. Wheeljack is noticeably smaller than Optimus. So, yeah. As the first Voyager in a line that's sort of a return to form, I think Optimus pulls it off pretty well. Yes, he's a little undersized. Yes, he's a little underpainted. But he does what he has to do, and that's be a good Knightverse Prime. He may not be as spectacular as SS-38, but overall, he's a fun figure, and if you need an Optimus Prime for your Knightverse collection and you missed out on SS-38 and don't want to have to spend the insane aftermarket prices, grab this guy. He's fun, and he'll fit into your Knightverse display just fine.
Overall, Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime feels like a return to form after the disaster that was the Bumblebee toy line. It feels good to go back to the normal world of Deluxes and Voyagers. See you guys next time. Bye!